Okay, the question I immediately asked about the foundational explanation on sciences. Okay, science can be defined as an ascertain knowledge that is gained through observation and experiment, which is critically tested, systematized, and is governed by a general principle. And I haven't said that any form or pattern of gathering knowledge that are systematic is what we call science. So meaning science is a systematic pattern of gathering knowledge. So there's an area or part of raw assembling of facts, and there's a processing phase. All of that will be treated in scientific method. Now, science itself has a classification because science is classified into three, basically into three. You have the first one that is called the formal science. Formal science comprises of the what? The mathematics, the statistics, the logic, the theoretical computer science. Those are formal sciences. Then we have what we call the empirical science. Empirical science is divided into two. We have the natural science and the social science. Now, the natural science. Natural science is divided into two. We have the life sciences and then we have what? We have the physical sciences. Under the life sciences, we have pure medicines and biology as life sciences. Then underneath the physical sciences, we have the geography, the earth science, the physics, the chemistry, and astronomy. Then underneath social science, being an empirical science, we have economics and other social sciences. Now in economics, it's of three. We have the microeconomics, we have the macroeconomics, and we have the international economics. Now I haven't said that that's for economics being a social science. Now other social sciences, we have what? The law, education, history, political science, anthropology, sociology, physiology. These are all social sciences. Then the last branches of science that we had is the applied science. And in the applied science, we have just two: engineering, all form of engineering, electrical, mechanical, and chemical. They are all engineering, they are applied. Then we have internal medicine to complete all the applied sciences. So these are the branches of science as being the genealogy of what? Of science and its classifications. Then there's need for us to understand what principle governs all of this that we've explained, and that's what gets the scientific method. The scientific method, ways and processes that scientists all over the world carries out their works or their ethics of the jobs that they do. These are what we mean by what scientific method. So scientific method is shortly stated or best explained with an abbreviation I call OHETSA. OHETSA. O is for observation, H is for hypothesis, E is for experiment, T is for theory, S is for scientific law, and A is for application. Now, observation. All scientists all over the world use their five senses to observe. That's you know what the five senses are: the eye, the nose, the ear, the skin, and the tongue. So they observe and try to gather raw problems and try to get raw facts as well to solve those raw problems. Now then you process all of what you've gathered. It becomes an hypothesis. An hypothesis in science is a good guess or good prediction that you want to use in solving a problem, but it is not the solution. Then it has to go through what? Through a pattern. The pattern in science are called experiments. So patterns are called experiments. So I haven't done your experiment. It's either it's a good positive one or negative one. There will be a result. If your result is the good one and it's reckonable to some certain extent, it becomes a theory. then if the theory is extensively tested by other scientists all over the world and within beyond your geographical region, then it's being processed into scientific law. Once it gets to this stage of the scientific law, it means every practitioner or all scientists must obey the scientific law. Then after scientific law has been obeyed, then here comes the application. What do we mean by application? It means for you to digest or accept any scientific law, it must be applied in real life situations around us. So these are what are the basics or foundations of what? Of science as a whole, as it relates to mathematics being a form of science, as it relates to physics being a natural or physical sciences, and biology being a what? A pure science under natural sciences. Why economics, history, anthropology, sociology, physiology, law, all of those, education, all of those are what? Are other social sciences, and economics having what? The micro, the macro, and the international economics as its branch of science. I think I've answered the question. Thank you.